Hello! Welcome to the live stream. We're not really going to talk about much about money today because it's just been a week. It's been a week. It's been a year. It's been a year. And I figured I'd do another planner themed live stream because I have a planner to give away. So welcome. Excited to see you here. This is just going to be like a calm, chill live stream. If you've got some work to do and you just want to feel like you have some company in the background, then that's what I'm here for. We are going to talk about my giveaway for the Sterling Ink planner, which we looked at last week. I walked through it. I ended up deciding this is not going to be the planner that I use next year. I ordered it because I couldn't, it was too good. It was just too interesting. And it is totally sold out. So I figured I should give it away to someone that will use it because I don't need to use two planners next year. I am realistically not a two planner kind of person. So, Geograph Concept says, also, I missed last week's live stream. Well, welcome. You're here now. So the donut for today, we've got new flavors because it is a new month, and it is a pear fritter. So it's got local pears on the inside, but then the top of it is a masala chai. So it's got the black tea in the topping, and then it's got the pears inside. I'm actually pretty stoked about this. They have an extremely extra, I should put this little candle up here. They have an extremely extra donut that I'm going to have to get, even though it has chocolate. It has an entire Christmas tree shaped cookie on the top of a chocolate orange donut. So there's a chocolate orange and it's round. And then on the top is a massive Christmas tree cookie, and that Christmas tree cookie tastes like pine. So I'm in Portland, Oregon, Pacific Northwest. We got a lot of evergreens, and they decided that for a local flavor, they were going to make something actually pine needle flavored. So, yeah, I'm like, it's a wild looking donut, and I even though I don't like chocolate, I'm definitely going to get it. I think I'm probably going to maybe like the cookie. So no one wants a pine cookie unless it's gin. I will say on their Instagram, they were like, they made up a bunch of fake quotes like, I really wish you would make things taste more like trees. And they're like, you know what? We don't care. Nobody asked for this, but we decided to do it anyway. Kenneth says, I want. Geograph Concept says, thinking about chocolate oranges. Pear fritter looks amazing. This donut sounds like a possible 5 out of 5 candidate. I agree. I think so. The fritter looks amazing. Everybody's excited. Preparing for my last final. This stream is just what I need. Great. Actually, that brings up a thing I wanted to chat with folks about. I was doing this study with me live streams back in April and May, during the weekdays mostly, where it would just be lo-fi music and essentially my back, and we would work in 45-minute or 50-minute Pomodoros, and then we take a 10-minute chatting break. I found those really effective because they were scheduled, and I had to be accountable. I couldn't get stuck in a Netflix hole lest I accidentally broadcast copyrighted material on the stream. And I have been thinking about doing those again, and I'm trying to decide if I should do them on this channel or I should do them on a different channel. Because I've got a lot of studying stuff going on in 2023. And so I was like, oh, maybe I should just make a study with me channel. Newbold One says they were great. Cheryl says, we are on our way to Dough Donuts. Nice. Kenneth says, here or Twitch works for me. Oh man, see, Twitch, should I with the Twitch? Cause Twitch, I don't understand how it works as even a consumer. Like, theoretically, I can broadcast to it. It's not the physical technology. I don't understand how any of the social interaction works on Twitch. Like, I'll try to, like, comment on people's streams when I'm logged in and I, like, can't figure out how to do it. And then it seems like there's a lot of, like, goodies people can... I don't know. It's very confusing to me. I don't know. Maybe I should be more into Twitch. But I get very confused. Possum says, so helpful. Even though I wasn't studying, I just needed help being accountable and focused. Okay. All right, y'all. All right. Geograph Concept says, please not Twitch. I can never log into it. I'll also say Twitch is owned by Amazon. So, like, I mean, YouTube's owned by Google, but, like, Twitch is owned... Wait, no. Is it owned by Microsoft? Now I can't keep track of my monopolies. I thought it's owned by Amazon. I don't know. I don't want to give them money. Pomodoro Study Hall works for me. I liked the last round. Okay, should I do them here? Like, I clearly, curating my channel content is not really a focus for me. By the way, this month on Christmas, my channel is going to turn 17 years old, which is terrifying, but we're going to move on from that. 17 or 16? Oh, no, 17. I didn't know that Amazon owned Twitch. Twitch is owned by Amazon. Yeah, Amazon. See? 17 years is old enough to drive. You old. I know. I kind of wish that YouTube was still the same as old, but I recognize it has so much value now. Mixer was Microsoft's streaming platform. They canned it in June 2020. I'm so glad that everybody knows this. All right. Well, I think I'll do a study with me stream here. I may also try to do videos. I don't know. I need to have a conversation with myself about whether or not I should do it on a different channel or not. I do think that maybe I already have given up on having any sort of curation on this channel. I mean, theoretically, we talk about finances here. But we talk about planners these days. So, Possum says, wow, I want to cry that YouTube has existed that long. I feel like it was just yesterday I was in a dorm watching that Leprechaun video. I know. It's really weird that it's been around for this long. Like, I'm unnerved by it. To be fair, I was on YouTube very early, so there is also that. But yeah, it is really terrifying, right? All right, y'all. And, I have a grand total of like 1,000 subscribers. So I'm clearly doing well, fast growth, doing fabulous, very good at making videos, which is actually one of the things we're going to talk about today. So I kind of mentioned this on the stream last week, but I pretty much, most of the things that I had planned to like accomplish this year, like a chunk of them happened, but a ton of stuff did not happen. Some of which was out of my control, and a lot of which just had to do with like life got crazy and weird and unpredictable, and therefore I didn't follow through on a bunch of things I had hoped to follow through on. And one of those was my eternal New Year's resolution that I'm going to make more edited YouTube videos. I'm very good at filming content. I'm absolutely abysmal at actually editing it and posting it. And so what I have decided to do is that I'm just pushing everything that I said I was going to do in 2022 that I still feel enthusiastic about on my New Year's like goals list is just going to get pushed over to 2023, and I'm not going to beat myself up about it. And one of those is that I said I was going to make 22 YouTube videos this year. I made 2 of hey, by the way, live streamed every freaking week. Wait, except 1 week, I think. I live streamed when I had COVID. I live stream in New Zealand. I live stream in Wien. Pretty much thanks to Aaron's steadfast commitment to helping me continue to live stream. But I've done a great job of the live streaming consistently. I'm very bad at editing videos. It's like upsetting to me how bad I am. I just have like a really poor process for the final step. I'm not a terrible editor. I know how to edit. I know how to edit with multiple different programs. I've like produced a darn like documentary in 2005. I made my first short film that I edited back when iMovie was essentially closer to like Final Cut. Anyway, I know how to edit. And I just have really bad production processes when it comes to video. And part of it is that I don't really make money off of video the same way that I do with other creative projects. I mean, I make like $8 a month from YouTube. So thank you all for helping me get to 1,000 subscribers so that now I make my whole $8 a month. But I've been trying to analyze how I get better at creating that system. And, you know, usually I would say if you failed so consistently at doing something, maybe it isn't actually a goal, right? I say that with a lot of people with like, if they overspend in a certain part of their budget and they're like, oh, this is regrettable spending, you know, I don't want to do it. I say sometimes it actually might be a value in disguise. Like maybe you're overspending on, you know, getting a fancy coffee every Sunday. And you're like, man, why do I spend so much on these fancy coffees? But actually, like, that is the time each week when you have family time after the library. And actually, like, going to the library with your kids is a value and you just need to budget for that. And I say the same about, like, goals that you keep consistently failing to accomplish. Is this a goal that you actually have? Is this a thing you actually want to spend your time and your energy on? Or is this something that you thought that you wanted to do, but you can't prioritize the time for it, right? Because it is a matter of prioritization, right? Like the time was there, the focus and the systems were not. But the fact that it consistently every year I want to do it and I get started on the process and then I can't follow through on actually editing the videos, I like there's clearly something about the way that I'm approaching it that isn't working. And I'm trying to make sure that I get really clear on creating a system and process this month so that I can actually meet that goal in 2023 and actually put out 22 videos. And no, I'm not upping it to 23 because clearly that's not working. Like in 2019, I said I was going to publish a video every week, and I got up until like I was doing video every single week, releasing it at the same time. And then I went to Japan in March 2019, filmed a lot of content and did not prioritize the editing. And then I fell off for most of the rest of the year from the weekly uploads. And so like there was something clearly about that. And what is also ridiculous is that this week we booked tickets to Japan. Erin is going for work. I am glomming on because I will always glom on if I can get a free hotel in a country I love. So I'm going to Japan in March of 2023, which will be 4 years after my last Japan trip, and I have footage from several videos I shot in Japan. So either I edit those, give up on them, or find a way to like do a pre and post like COVID, like redo what I did in those videos and compare the footage side by side, which I think could be kind of interesting. Anyway. Sorry I joined late. Every time I typed in your name, YouTube came up with someone called Anomaly. Oh, interesting. Well, thank you for joining. If you subscribe, she will just show up on YouTube. No search needed. Thank you very much for that reminder that people should subscribe. I know we're going to, yeah, it has been 4 years since we last went to Japan. Kenneth says, I appreciate the live streams, honestly. Videos are great for documenting information, but it's nice to ask questions in real time. Yeah, it's, I do feel like, you know, one of the things I've been thinking about and I need to talk to my editors at Slate about is that I would like to go more in depth in some sort of either live or at least like video or audio format on some of the more interesting questions from my financial advice column, Pay Dirt, at Slate. But I need to talk with them about it because essentially they've got they have 3 months exclusive on anything I write for them. But I am allowed to republish at that point and then talk about things. So I have to talk to my editor about kind of what they want to do. Possum says, this is my plan too. Life happened in February and threw everything out the window. I'm just going to look at what I planned for 2022, edit it, and then try it out again for 2023. I'm on board. Geograph Concept said, do live streams not count as videos? They're supposed to be the hot new thing. I mean, YouTube doesn't count them. YouTube also stopped, like a couple weeks ago, maybe a month ago, they split up your channel now. And so now the first tab is for your videos, and then like 3 tabs down is for lives. And it used to be that the videos and the lives were mixed together. And I like understand why they split them out, because it was confusing for people if they were like looking for a video and then they would stumble on the lives. But because I am consistent with the live streams, but not with the videos, now it looks like, you know, you've got like a 40-second clip of me skating in bad rental skates from a couple months ago, and like, that's it. Mimi says, your study sessions led to me playing lo-fi study music on YouTube for students when they're writing independently in class. It's good for focused workflow. Nice. When I saw it was planning today, I said, I guess she's tired with finances, I guess. Here's the thing. I couldn't really think of a topic. I am monetized now, so, you know, that's all we really need. By the way, I've been on YouTube so long. I used to be monetized because I've been monetized from before YouTube implemented the 1,000 subscriber watch time minimum. So I was monetized until they implemented that. And I want to say like 2016, 2017 when they implemented that. So I was monetized for a bunch of years, but I never had hit the $100 payout threshold. So it was like, I had like, I don't know, cents on the dollar in there, but it's fine. Don't up the video production quota. No way, man. I know. Very confusing splitting it out. I know. Eric says, honestly, it's more work to do YouTube live streams. They should get weighted as 10x for a pre-record. I wouldn't say that, because editing is clearly the part of the process that I struggle with. So Christy says, I didn't come out in here to get called out like this. For some reason, I couldn't comment on any YouTubers' videos because they were all made for kids, even though they weren't really. Oh, actually, that error has been a problem for a couple people. That error is like a known issue, and you have to unsubscribe from them and then resubscribe, and then it'll work. It's like a known error that happens to some people, where then they're like not able to comment because, and it says it's because the video is made for kids, even though it isn't. And it's like, it only affects some random accounts. So yeah, what you need to do is unsubscribe from that channel and then resubscribe, and it'll work again. It doesn't make any sense, but there is a theory that it has to do with like you came from a channel that had kids content like right before you subscribe to them or something. I don't know. Y'all, should we like dive into the planning stuff? Oh, I'll talk to you about the giveaway. I did mention this last week, but now we have a link for it. So I am doing a planner giveaway, and this planner giveaway we can let's see, overhead and circle. Nope, that did not work. There we go. Okay, so this planner that I am giving away, which I am also including some Oh My Dollar stickers, yay, very exciting, this is the Sterling Ink Common Planner, and there will be a secret code in today's live stream that will get you extra entries into it. So it's at ohmydollar.com/giveaway. And this planner is beautiful. This is the full year B6 size with this like kind of black linen cover. It's got gilded edges. It's completely sold out, and it is a beautiful planner, but because it is sold out and people are so eager to get it, I figured it would be better for me to give away my copy, because I have the Take a Note planner from Taiwan, and that is the one I'm planning to use. This is frankly too many pages for me, probably. It's got undated dailies, but they do have page numbers at the bottom that you can use. So if you use more than one for a day, or you don't use any, you're not going to have empty pages. And then it's got a weekly setup that is very similar to the Hobonichi, but without any quotes or kind of whatever on the top. There's no Japanese anywhere on it. And then she's also got this great little goal setting page as well, which is probably the thing I'm most bummed to lose when I give it away. But most of the entries are just like, it's a free giveaway. It's only available to US though, because I am going to pay for shipping. And frankly, the shipping, if you're international, the shipping might get there so late anyway, it wouldn't be useful. But in the US, I should be able to ship it pretty easily. And you'll have some stickers and also give you a copy of my ebook. So there it is. I will give it away. I'll pull the number on next week's live stream, about halfway through the live stream. So keep an eye out for the secret code. It is 4 characters, and you'll be able to find it somewhere on the stream today, and then you'll be able to input it for an extra 1. Ash says, how do people write tiny enough to use these? So actually there's so many things on the screen. There we go. And let me pull this off really quick. So it's actually, if you're familiar with the Hobonichi layout, then it's actually the same grid size as the Hobonichi layout. It just doesn't have the grid is the same. It just doesn't have all of the kind of extra stuff on the edges. So there we go. Is the code 2023? No, it is not. You will see it. It isn't up on the live stream yet, but you should see it relatively soon. But yeah, you can see that it's pretty much the same as it. So it looks a lot smaller than it really is. I wouldn't say that it's super teeny. I wouldn't say it's super teeny. I like the B6 size. I'm a big fan of the B6 size. So it's not A6, which is like what a lot of people use their Hobonichis, and that one is just too small for me. If you find the code, don't spoil it for others. Yes, thank you. This looks like a bullet journal and vertically hour planner, which is what I use right now and am moving away from. Pretty much, yes. I would say, it's a very beautiful, nice way to do it. The reason it's called the Common Planner is the idea that it's kind of like a common book. Let me see if I can get on a screen where you can see me. There we go. I thought I had a smaller... Oh, there we go. There we go. That's a better way to do it. So, should we get ahead for... do some plan with me, you all? I like a B6 for a journal, but that's a different kettle of fish. I will say it is, the layout is just the same. Okay, y'all, I think I need to start planning my week. Last week, I ended up, every other day, I was at the hospital, but not the ER, just the hospital facility for various things. The great news is I took care of a lot of appointments that needed to happen before the end of the year, before I'm on new insurance. I also got prescribed 4 new drugs. So I went from 1 drug that I took once a week to now 4 new drugs and my weekly drug. 3 of which I use 3 times a day. So, no, 4 of which I use twice a day. There we go. So anyway, like I said, last week was I did what I needed to do, but it just was a lot. There is a link to the giveaway below. It is ohmydollar.com/giveaway. If we do see the code, where can we even enter it? You go to the giveaway page and there is a secret code thing and it'll get you 5 extra entries to enter it. All right, y'all, let's do this. Let's plan for this week. Anyway, I just got so much stuff. Heavens to Betsy 4, yes. So, I don't know. I'll chat with you about all of my medication while I fill this in, y'all. So essentially, as regular viewers know, I have rheumatoid arthritis, and I've been on an immunosuppressant for that, a TNF inhibitor, which is a type of biological, for 8 years. It's been very effective for me. However, it is getting less effective, which is very common for people at about the 8 to 10 year mark. And unfortunately, I have a couple different options. One, we could just wait it out until it's really ineffective, because essentially what happens is I take it once a week, and it used to pretty much take me through the whole week. Now it's starting to wear off like 1 or 2 days before the end of the week. This is incredibly common amongst biologicals. I actually asked my rheumatologist and asked her, like, how often do you see patients effectively treated by the same biological, like for how long? And she said some patients make it 20 years. Like by the way, the biologicals have only been out for about 20 years and change. The first one came out in the late 90s, so they're relatively new medications. And, you know, she said that some people have managed to... Okay, I'm going to a train thing next weekend, which I'm very excited. It's Lolita dress up. So for the elegant gothic Lolita community on trains, all of my favorite. We're going to the holiday train, so stoked about that. Actually, I got my washi tape out for today. I have 2 train washi tapes to use. I think I'll use it's snowing outside right now, which is very nice. It's not sticking at all, really, but it is very pretty. It's been snowing all morning, so I feel like the purpley is more snow-like. This is a, Shinkansen high-speed rail, but not the cute tiny train I'm going to see, but whatever, it's fine. There we go. There's our washi tape. So, a couple months ago, my rheumatologist and I talked about, okay, let's just monitor it. She said that some people she's seen effectively treated by 20 years, but it's pretty rare. Essentially, from what I understand, not really at all understanding biologicals or really the immune system in any way, shape, or form beyond what I need to know about it. The common issue is that your body actually starts to recognize the immune system modifier that is in the medication. And so you have to kind of switch to another medication. The good news is that there are a lot of different biologicals and TNF inhibitors now. And I've never been on the most common one, which is Humira, which is actually the most expensive drug for insurance in my state, because I went to a drug pricing state report this week and testified because my medication's so expensive. So we essentially have 2 options. One of the options was to add another therapy on top of my medication to see if the combination of the 2 would work. And then the other thing we could do would be that we could just switch me to a different TNF inhibitor or an IBL inhibitor, which is a different kind of drug. Cosentyx is the brand name here. That one would possibly work for me because I actually have a slightly different diagnosis than rheumatoid arthritis. That one is also commonly used for lupus and ankylosing spondyloarthritis or spondylosis. And I technically have peripheral spondylitis, which means that I can be treated by these ILB ones. Anyway, we'd probably just switch me to Humira because the biosimilar comes out, which is like the equivalent of a generic for a biological, comes out next year. But what we ended up deciding to do is add this very safe drug that I've been on previously, actually, because it's an anti-malarial. It's called hydroxychloroquine, or hydroxychloroquine, sorry. Hydroxychloroquine, which you may remember from running out at pharmacies because people were trying to get prescribed it because they thought it would help with Fox News, and Trump had tried to convince them that it was good for COVID a couple years ago. It's not actually effective for COVID, but it is effective for rheumatoid arthritis and as an anti-malarial. So I will I will essentially like add that on top. The thing is we won't probably know for 8 to 12 weeks if it works, but the good news is it's a very there's no side effects compared to the medication that is very commonly prescribed, both prior to and in addition to, like alongside with my current medication, which I do not react well to, which is called methotrexate. It is a chemo drug that's also commonly used for rheumatoid arthritis, and it does not work for me, and I have really terrible side effects from it. So I do not want to have to deal with it. And my handwriting really did not handle up there, did it? I was trying to do something fancy and it just didn't work. Okay, so I downloaded an app for tracking all my medications because it used to be that I only take medication once a week. So it was like not a big deal to do it. But now that I've got all these medications I have to take twice a day. So we added the hydroxychloroquine, and then we also, I saw the dermatologist because I've been having rosacea and some like psoriasis on my leg that is probably caused by the TNF inhibitor I'm on. So it's used to treat psoriasis, but it can also cause it. And it gets treated the same regardless of kind of what caused it. So they've put me on antibiotics that I have to take twice a day, like low dose antibiotics, and then also 2 creams that I have to put on it. So like a steroid and another one. I don't know if you guys all need all of this. I'm happy to put my medical information on the internet. So I think it's helpful because I think we have a lot of weird stigmas about talking about things like medication. And it is related to money because holy crap, I had to deal with some issues, and I just feel like, anyway, well, we don't need to get too deep into that. I'll talk about it on a different live stream, where I talk more about medical costs. So I'm going to do like a tiny little to-do list at the bottom. I figure I can put it after 10 p.m. because realistically, I'm not going to stay up after 10 p.m. This pen is like dying. Do I have another micron? Nope, that one's too thick. Is this one too thin? Okay, so I know tomorrow I have to do the B on B post. Oh, and then I have Breakfast on the Bridges on Friday. So, yeah, okay, so I know tomorrow B on B post. And then I know I need to do a B on B post. And then live stream. Slate deadline is on Friday. Slate edits. And then I have a work RFP. All right. So anyway, I've been trying to figure out if I should track these. I downloaded an app to track all these on my phone because I didn't really need to before. But now I'm trying to decide if I should try to track them in my planner or not. Yeah, kind of decide and see. I lost the chat over here. What has happened over here? Feels like Google might be your friend here and not us. This is not a problem that has ever happened to me. Wait, why is your hand stuck in a Pringles can? I think release your hand? I will say it hasn't happened to me, even though I have arthritis and my hand is often, but how can you type Are you typing with one hand? This is a nightmare medication schedule, but great habit tracker opportunity, to be honest. Like, it's honestly, it's not a nightmare medication schedule for me because it's just, I just take them all morning and evening. So it's not a huge deal for me. One of them needs to be eaten with food, or taken with food, but that's it. So it's not a huge deal. So, alarms and pill containers are really helpful. I use the week specifically for this, tracking meds, symptoms, moods, etc. Yeah, I don't think the pill container is really going to help me because only 2 of them are pills. The other 2 are creams, which need to stay in their containers. And then my other one is a shot that has to be refrigerated. So I looked into the pill containers. I was considering a timer thing. I'm using this app. I'm trying out this app called Round Health. And we'll try it. We'll see how it goes. I'm kind of figuring that this month is my trial for like figuring things out. And then next year, new planner, and different health insurance, which is when I'm also going to figure out, like, I essentially just sent it to my local Rite Aid, which is a network. So the other thing too is I don't get my normal medication from Rite Aid because I have to use a specialty pharmacy because it's a specialty medication. And there's only one in network specialty pharmacy because CVS Caremark is vertically integrated with Blue Cross Blue Shield and owned by them. Anyway, I just paid what it was, and I was really frustrated because one of the medications, the topical steroid, which is luckily the one I have to take the least, ended up being like $90 of a copay, which I've already met my deductible and my out-of-pocket maximum, and I looked it up on the formulary, and it is a tier 1 medication. So I did not think it should have been $90, but in the end, I would have only probably saved like $40 or $50, and I probably would have had to get it sent to a different pharmacy, which would have been calling back to the dermatologist, blah, 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 blah. I just decided for this month, I would just pay the $90 so I could get it and I could like get into the routine, and I may not ever have to get that one again. And all the other ones had very reasonable copays, but I'm going to investigate if I could get less by getting it mail ordered or something like that. So, I feel like I'm listening to myself talk about my own health stuff. I completely understand what you're going through. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Here's the thing is like, I'm extremely lucky that, like, I have been mostly symptom-free with my rheumatoid arthritis for a bunch of years. The rosacea flaring up and getting extremely bad is likely also very much linked to the fact that since the pandemic has started, I have been working out in a mask, and I wear disposable K95 masks. I rotate them, and I try not to ever wear like makeup or anything underneath them, but I do sweat in a mask, and I don't wear it when I work out outside. Although at the beginning of the pandemic, we like didn't know that outdoor transmission wasn't a thing, but I was also wearing like cloth masks. But I skate indoors in a mall, and because of that, I literally hundreds of sticky finger children in that mall, skating, grabbing my hands, breathing on me. And because of that, I have made the decision that as a person that is now on 3 immunosuppressants, I really should not skate without a mask. And I also appreciate that it actually is good for my aerobic capacity to be able to do cardio with a mask on. It's good for my training, but it is terrible for my skin. So the rosacea is not just linked to the TNF inhibitor, but wait, what? New level of insurance confusion in my state. Blue Cross Blue Shield in my state. No CVS allowed. When I had Blue Cross Blue Shield in another state, it was okay. And in your state, they own CVS? Wow. So they don't own CVS, but they have a stake in Caremark. Caremark is the pharmacy benefit manager that is vertically integrated with several health insurance companies that are owned by a stake, which is why they like force you additionally with like the Anthem like mail order pharmacy. So anyway, yeah, I don't go to the CVS retail pharmacy. I use CVS specialty, which is different. It's part of CVS Caremark, which is a Caremark specialty. It's my only option. Blue Cross Blue so insurance is regulated at the state level. Blue Cross Blue Shield is simply a brand name. And it is a brand name that insurance pays to have. There is some like economies of scale and certain things that are utilized across the system, but your Blue Cross Blue Shield in one state will not be the same as another. Additionally, your employer sponsored Blue Cross Blue Shield is going to be incredibly different than what you might get on the marketplace. And that is because they are different plans. They are regulated in different ways. They're regulated by different entities. If you work for a large employer, then you're that has what's called a self-insured plan, which is most large employers, and you have Blue Cross Blue Shield. So for example, even though I live in Oregon, I am on Blue Cross Blue Shield of California. But my plan is not regulated by the state of California. It is regulated by the federal provisions because it is a federal self-employed plan. Clear as mud? Absolutely. Love it. Possum says, I've always wondered why they all had the same name, but completely different under the hood. Thanks for explaining. Yeah, so the thing is that insurance is regulated at the state level, which is one of the really frustrating things, that if you like live in a border county, you may not be able to get access to a health insurance plan from the state next to you, even though it might actually be better options, whatever, because of the regulation at the state level, which was actually like for Trump kept trying to, former President Trump, like tried to pretend as though getting rid of the state barriers for insurance plans was going to solve everything. And absolutely it was not going to solve the healthcare system. And he was attributing far too many problems to those state lines and the state regulations. However, it is part of many proposals for healthcare reform included there, which is the idea that we have all of these things that are kind of regulated at the state level and kind of regulated at the federal level that are like intermixed. And it's really hard as a consumer to figure it out. The Janiverse got out of the Pringles can. That was scary. Tell us what your tactic was. I didn't have any advice. I think Google Assistant has been removing items I manually submit to my Google Calendar, where I now have to journal my entries with old-fashioned pen and paper. Well, welcome. You're now more prepared for this stream. Geograph Concept says, Tomo River Paper I've never experienced. Only heard the legends. I love Tomo River Paper. Some people don't like it. I love it. I do think it's really nice. Someone asked, I lost it in the chat, but someone asked what my favorite pens. My favorite pens for the planner, so I really like to have black and white on the week and like a more fine-tipped pen. This is actually not my favorite pen. However, the pen that I have is currently dead and not easy to get another hold of because I need to go to a place that has it. I lost it. Oh, here it is. Okay. So this is my favorite pen. It's called the Uni Pen Pen. It is available on Amazon, but you never know if you're getting fake stuff on Amazon. But this is my favorite one. It's waterproof, fade-proof pigment ink. And then on the dailies, I actually use my Kaweco Sport fountain pen, which I really like just because with my arthritic hands, I find that fountain pens work really well for me. So I have their cartridge ink in it right now in green. I would like to own more fountain pens just so that I could have like different colors because I'm still going to be a cartridge person. But I do really like the way they flow. The Janiverse says, I basically pulled like a Chinese finger trap. I just had to calm down. From now on, I eat Lay's from the plastic paper-like containers. I mean, you could also just like turn the Pringles can upside down and not put your hand in it. I'm sorry, that sounds very stressful. The Journaling Broom says, I just spent the last 10 minutes renewing my healthcare insurance on Marketplace while listening to you talk. Look at you! Are you doing the Get It Done December challenge on the Oh My Dollar forums? I actually don't have a thing for it, but it's still the same place. It's ohmydollar.com, forum.ohmydollar.com. We have the Get It Done December challenge. It's linked in the description down below. You can still join, and you do get stickers at the end of the month. I send them free to you anywhere in the world for completing whatever your to-do list is before the end of the year, and you get to define what that is. Okay, I'm going to do a little chart here. Let's see if we can zoom in a bit. There we go. Sorry, hope I didn't make y'all sick. Going to do a little graph right here. This is a very ugly planner this week. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't have a lot going on in my brain. I have a lot to do and not a lot going on. Okay, this is life stuff. I need to order glasses because we have to use our FSA before the end of the year. Send thank you. What else do I have to carry over from this week? Ebook. Then slate deadline. Scholarship essay. It's like half done. I just need to like put the final touches on it. I need to do, I'd say 8 hours of tax training. I'm almost done. I think I could take the exam pretty soon for that, but I need to review. It's an open book exam, so. The Janiverse says I could do that. Well, no more putting my hands in Pringles. I will now just dump them out on a napkin. Alana says, I work in medical billing and you explain that better than most trainers and high-level executives have. Well, fun fact, I testified this week at the Oregon drug prices report. So they did every year the Consumer Drug Pricing and Accessibility State Commission does a report on what payers pay and what the rebates are for drugs. And elected officials were there, the people that produced the report. It was super duper interesting. I actually I'm thinking about if I could repackage it, but I testified live as a patient at it from underneath my cat on the couch. But it was very fascinating. So my drug is the third most expensive to payers in the state. I will note there was even though it was all being explained very calmly, in a matter of factly by the person who gave the report, she did note that Humira's, which is the number one most expensive, and apparently is every single year they've done this report for payers in the state, its patent has been going on too long. So the biosimilar for Humira is approved next year. So, anyway, I'm writing a book on healthcare right now, so I hope I'm good at explaining it because it's meant to be an accessible guide. But I had fun writing my testimony because my testimony was just about how we need to make more transparency about copay accumulator adjuster programs being implemented on the consumer side, because I got screwed over by one this year. Like I said, you can listen to past live streams about that. I also did a podcast with an arm and a leg podcast about it. But I just had so many stressful experiences with that, trying to confirm if there was a copay accumulator adjuster program or copay maximizer in place was absolutely impossible when it came to searching for a plan during open enrollment. And it is unfair that I am required to buy a product that I cannot change without being able to get clear information about it. And this included me searching, me searching online, me looking through the formularies, looking through plan documents that are available, calling the pharmacy, calling member services. I spent a good 8 or 10 hours on research trying to find my plan, and I ended up with a $3,000 deductible. And also 15 states have now banned copay accumulator adjuster programs. And I understand that it isn't fair that payers should have to be on the hook when pharmaceutical companies are utilizing these programs in order to prop up their prices in a monopoly market. But the issue is that who gets stuck between a rock and a hard place is the patients. It affects affordability. There was plenty of heartbreaking testimonies in the written testimonies about people that cannot afford their insulin, about people that cannot afford drugs they have been on for years that they need to stay alive because of policies like copay accumulator adjuster programs, because of highway robbery. So they did an entire panel on insulin pricing, which included the manufacturers. But I will say, the most hilarious of all of the presentations was a representative from the pharmacy benefit manager, from a huge pharmacy benefit manager, who gave us like the most corporate marketing speak PR presentation about how pharmacy benefit managers are a good, actually, and how they represent millions of lives. And I'm like, if you are having to call people lives, then it's probably a sign that there has to be too much marketing sheen put on what you do. She tried to say that some of the advantages of what pharmacy benefit managers do are that we would be lost without them, and that drug prices would be through the roof without pharmacy benefit managers, and that they do not work on behalf of the pharmacy industry, and we need them as a counterbalance. I would like to point out that no other country has pharmacy benefit managers, and they've inserted themselves as a middle person in between the pharmacies and the insurers, and they work on behalf of the insurers, which are not known for their commitment to patients' affordability necessarily. It was just hilarious to watch this woman try to spin PBMs as a good thing in a room full of industry experts. It was really interesting. That was it. I was cracking up. I was literally cracking up because everybody else was just giving like really clear reports, and they were talking about Oregon is looking at if we have the potential to do what California is doing with in-state manufacturing of insulin in order to put caps on copays for insulin, and all of this kind of stuff that was about like, what can we really do to make this more affordable for patients, to give better information to patients. And the PBM person was the only one who was like not straightforward and was giving us a pitch deck as though she was trying to sell us on the concept of pharmacy benefit managers. And she also told us one of the very important things they do is design apps that let you know about medication interactions. And I was like, that we don't need you involved in the entire insurance system to design an app. And two, that is what the job of a pharmacist is. And guess what? The independent pharmacists that you're putting out of business, pharmacy benefit managers. Anyway, that is what they go and get in the United States. That's what they go get a freaking PhD for. Some pharmacists do miss drug interactions. I absolutely claim that's true. But do you really think an app designed by a pharmacy benefit manager is the thing that you should be relying on as opposed to a pharmacist? Angela says, I've never been able to afford any plans, and if I get sick, I have to pay through the roof. It's so scary. I will say that a couple states now have expanded Medicaid, and I will note it's still open enrollment. If you're in the U.S., I'm assuming if you can't afford a plan, you're probably in the U.S. If your income, your household income is below $71,000 this year, and more if you have a pretty large household, going forward, you get significant cost sharing reductions on the marketplace plans. And even if you previously have not been able to afford a plan, I would recommend looking again at the marketplace. Open enrollment goes through December 15th this year. So go on to healthcare.gov, put in your state, look through the marketplace again, make sure you enter your income when you do that. And you may be pleasantly surprised at how much greater the subsidies are now, because the subsidies got greatly expanded last year and it was supposed to be temporary, but now it is going forward. Minnie says, my iPhone has a drug interaction feature. I'm skeptical. I would be also skeptical. Marketing sheen / pitch deck / pharmacy benefit manager. It's like, there's so many things about, I don't begrudge someone working at a pharmacy benefit manager. I understand there is utility to things that pharmacy benefit managers do, but they don't need to exist in the overall system. And it's like, it was just hard to watch someone who was clearly a PR person when a lot of the other people were people that were like more in the industry as like researchers or whatever. And it was, yeah. Angela says, okay, I will try. Last time I checked, it was over 400 for both me and my husband. Kids have all kids from our state. Absolutely go check because there's way more accessibility now. So I'm glad your kids are covered under all kids. Possum says, check if your state is free help too. It was so helpful when we were trying to help a family member get insurance. The website is so much better than it was years ago too. Yeah, so the people that help you find insurance are called navigators. There is slightly more funding for them this year. It got seriously cut during the Trump years, but they have some more funding for them. And they are people, they are not compensated based on which plan you choose. They're just there to help you find and pick an affordable plan that will get you good coverage. So yeah. Alana says, someone wrote that statement for her to read. I mean, this girl had she had a whole pitch deck. That when she said we represent this many millions of lives, I was like, I just, when you do that, it's like someone is trying to compensate too much. Pharmacy technicians are always going to be part of the largest job reductions positions when the economy introduces drone delivery, more mailed medications. Hospitals' futures will be the only pharmacies open. I mean, I think that is entirely true. I will say that when I went to pick up my specialty medication, which doesn't get filled at the CVS retail pharmacy, but because I've had so many issues with it getting shipped, it's a refrigerated medication. So it used to be delivered by courier on my old insurance, like from a local courier from a specialty pharmacy. Now it's delivered overnight FedEx. And I had a lot of issues with delivery of things getting left, like my $10,000 of medication getting left in my unair conditioned lobby when it was 110 freaking degrees outside. I have had just a lot of like them not alerting me about deliveries. I had a lot of issues with it. So what I started doing, this also reduced the amount of styrofoam that I got because you can only get a 28-day supply of my medication because it's so expensive. So the insurance companies arbitrarily limit it. I pick it up at the CVS. This also allows me to get CVS extra care bucks, which I use to buy myself treats / like shampoo and stuff like that. Because my medication is so expensive, it still like counts for my CVS refill bucks. So I get like a couple dollars each month of like free money to spend in CVS. So I go and I wait online and I pick it up. So it gets just delivered there. They don't fill it. All of this to say, I was waiting in a line at the CVS and they had a sign up that said, due to lack of staffing, we are a week and a half behind in filling prescriptions. If you need a prescription urgently, send it to a different CVS. I'll also say that my local Rite Aid, I waited in line for like 45 minutes before I found out that they hadn't even gotten the order yet from my doctor, which had like sent 2 days earlier. Pharmacy techs are like, it's such a low paid job. And so like all lower income jobs, they are having a lot of trouble filling it. It's like all retail customer service positions where you're having to deal with the public. And I think made even worse by the fact that it's also in healthcare and retail. It seems like retail pharmacy techs have just been like incredibly stressed. I've talked to a couple of the providers and it's just like, they're just so stressed with staffing. So yeah. She might as well say heartbeats instead of lives. Here's why they say lives. It's because that's how they actually categorize things. Because they don't care if I individually die, but I'm part of the overall economic model of whether or not I'm worth the money that they can save. Possum says also some states have marketplaces that didn't before, like New Jersey, and that's an improvement too. Or it could be like Oregon, where we spent tons of money developing our own Oregon exchange and it never launched. Very fun. But yeah, we're on healthcare.gov. Also, 2 states approved expansions to Medicaid. So they will have Medicaid. It won't be next year, but it'll 2024 and 2025. They will have state Medicaid expansion. So we're slowly whittling down the number of states that do not have Medicaid expansion. I mean, they've tried everything they can, but that was part of that. Possum Planner says, can I find someone to help me on the healthcare website? Absolutely. Yeah. Go look on healthcare.gov for your state and they will have like find a navigator and they'll actually walk you through it. There's also a problem with giving COVID shots now. Interesting. David says, I don't understand why people need to use pharmacies. Like people who pick up their medication from a pharmacy are going to protect that medication rather than if it came in the mail. So for me, I don't have, one, the mail order pharmacies can be really frustrating if you live in a building with a lot of package theft. And then my medication is refrigerated, so I have to get overnight shipping, which means I need to be here, signature delivery. And it also, like, if you live in some parts of the country, like, mail can take a really long time. So for me, going to the pharmacy is good. The other time is when you need stuff relatively urgently. There's also, if you get certain kinds of medications, like infusions that are done as outpatient at clinics, and they participate in some of the federal funding programs for certain types of medications in lower income hospitals and nonprofit hospitals, that has to be delivered through a hospital pharmacy. But yeah, I mean, like mail order pharmacy doesn't make sense if you're getting like a small course of antibiotics and stuff like that. You want to go to a retail pharmacy. And then the last, but certainly not the least, is the fact that pharmacists are trained to look for and provide drug interactions. So like I just got prescribed 4 new drugs this week and by 2 different doctors in totally different specialties. And they were both like, I'm pretty sure these won't interact with the medications that you're on. However, that is what the pharmacist is there designed to train and help with. And so, you know, when you do get counseled by the pharmacist, especially when you're on new medications, they can tell you some of the stuff that is specific around both drug interactions, how to take it, how to counteract side effects. Like if you're on a medication like methotrexate and you get really nauseous, they'll be able to tell you what other over-the-counter things you might take with it. And all of this stuff is done very poorly by a lot of those mail order pharmacists. That isn't to say that mail order pharmacies are not trying to get better. Also, mail can be extremely unreliable in a lot of places. So the pharmacist also make sure you're taking supplements. Yeah. Also, if you have to ask questions, who do you ask? Who warns you about things? Here, when you have a new prescription, the pharmacist has to check with you and see if you have questions. I will say they were so stressed at the Rite Aid yesterday when I went to pick stuff up. I had to be like, no, I actually do need counseling. And there was like a huge line behind me. And I felt so bad about having to be like, no, I do actually have to talk to the pharmacist. Because explicitly my doctor told me to make sure to check with the pharmacist about interactions and stuff like that. And it's all new medication to me. So Minnie says, I have a main pharmacist I pick stuff up at and a walk-in clinic pharmacist. I should update my meds with the walk-in clinic pharmacist, both in retail places. Chris Christie just hates people, so we don't have anything. It was a huge fail. Actually, the state that you're talking about, the Oregon, the failed Oregon marketplace, they even filmed commercials for it and everything. And they ended up like suing the company that made it. It was a whole thing. Yeah, I live in Oregon as well. The Don't Tease Oregon. That's my old roommate's sticker. Y'all, should I finish my... I feel bad I haven't finished this plan with me. Sorry, y'all. Let's finish the last of the plan with me. I got so excited talking about healthcare. It's my favorite thing. Okay. So I have these towels. I still need to find a place to donate them because we got all new towels. By the way, I finally got sheets. I don't know if you all were following the sheet issue where we were really struggling with finding new sheets, even though our sheets had a rip in them. And we ordered linen sheets. And we got like a more, it's still linen, so it was expensive, but we got like a more affordable brand. I am a convert. I love the linen. It feels so good. It's a totally different experience than cotton sheets. Sheets, yes, even Erin mentioned it. I love that. Planner cam from a different camera. It's actually the same camera. It's just like a different setup. Y'all, I'm doing a really terrible job. Okay. And then grocery shop. I'm going to put it on the list. And then, you know what? It's not going to be a beautiful planner this week. I'm sorry, y'all. It's just not a very pretty planner, but you get to see it's a practical view of what my planner looks like. Reminder that if you would like to do the Sterling Ink giveaway for this beautiful, beautiful little planner, you can do that down here, ohmydollar.com/giveaway. So it ends next week on the stream, and there was a secret code in this stream already displayed, so if you don't see it, you'll have to go back, and that will get you extra entries. And I think it might be time for the donut, y'all. Let's all right, so here is the donut. Oh, actually, I just realized I could use the overhead camera to play you the donut. There we go. So this is a pear fritter. It's got Oregon pears in it. And then it's got a chai masala tea layer on the top. Pretty excited about it. Once again, the reason we eat a donut is because this is talking dough and eating donuts. So we talk about finances, which we, I guess, did actually do today. And then we eat a donut. Oh, yeah. Okay, so it's just super fluffy on the inside. I'm a huge, this is good, but I'm not really getting that much of the pear yet. I haven't actually gotten one in a bite yet. It's a very good donut. Well, if you're in Oregon, next time you're in Portland, you can stop at Dough Donuts and get it. The chai masala tea topping sounds interesting. I'm not getting as much chai out of it as I'd hoped. I'm getting mostly the sweetness. The edge of this pear looks like a pickle to me. And I know it's not pickled flavored, but I like expect when I bite into it for it to look like a pickle. I think tea toppings on other things don't go as well as I think it will. Yeah. It's like, it smells more like tea than it tastes, I feel like. We're all ready for the donut. I'm apparently very excited. Good job. Good pun right there. Y'all, this is good. It's not going to be a 5 out of 5 like last week's. It's like, the flavor is just not intense enough. I guess pears are a really subtle flavor, and I think the thing about the tea frosting is it's also pretty subtle once you turn it into like a glaze. I think I'm going to call it 3.5 out of 5. It's good. I would eat it again, but I would not give it a 5 out of 5. Eric says, on the surface, the description sounded like a 5, but the proof is in the eating, as the English say. Geograph Concept says, wow, harsh. I mean, I'm not trying to be mean to it. It's still a good donut. It's done its job. It's a delicious, sweet thing. I like it, though. I do like it. It is good. People were wondering about the camera setup. One of the reasons I keep swinging this is actually just my iPhone. So you can see the iPhone here, and then that is my overhead camera. So now you can see the empty plate. But that's what I was using for the live stream. So I know this is not... Tune into Aaron Parecki's live stream if you really want to know about it. But so I'm using the A10 Mini, and the app that I use I'm essentially just airplaying my phone to the Apple TV, and then I'm using that as an input. So the app that I use so that you don't see like any of the stuff on the screen like you would with the camera app is called Shoot, and it just gives you like a clean feed. So you can see if I switch to my other camera, you can see the mic above me. Hi. So that's the other side of the camera, and then this is a more zoomed out view, and then this is the zoomed in view. So, yeah. If you stream 10 more minutes, you can see how much snow I'm covered in. Okay, I'll stream 10 more minutes. I have to go do work if I do anything else but stream. Hey, folks, tell me how excited you are about whatever you're doing, what thing you're looking forward to this week. I know how to talk. You know, I told you all this was not going to be a banner live stream. Also, if you have any suggestions of what we should talk about next week, because I'm not going to do 3 planner live streams in a row, especially given how lackluster planner content it was this week, give me some suggestions. We could finish the in-depth review of budgeting apps. It's kind of good. It's like 2 weeks before New Year's, so people are probably thinking about other budgeting apps. I may do some study with me live streams this week again. I don't know. I was really enjoying those. So yeah. Kenneth says tax prep. Oh, interesting. I do think it's probably a little too early for most people thinking about that. It is the end of year giving season though. And I think a lot of people get, the biggest giving day of the year is December 31st because everybody thinks they itemize their taxes, but whatever. But I'm prepping right now for my tax certification exam. So I'm thinking about tax prep a lot. So yeah, that might be kind of interesting. Storm Breeze says, how about analog budgeting in a planner? Here's the thing. I just don't know what to do for that. Like, I am just not an analog budgeter. So I would not worry about that. I am absolutely not going to be doing a sleep stream. I find those very weird. I don't want anybody to watch me sleep on the internet. That sounds like a terrible idea. So absolutely not at all. Mimi says, I look forward to reading with my students as part of Lord of the Flies, where Lord of the Flies talks to Simon. Oh my God, I forget. I honestly blocked out so much of Lord of the Flies because it's been like, I don't know how many years, 18 years since I've read it. More than that. 25 years since I read it. So I can't even remember who Simon was. Wait, what is the plot of Twilight? Oh, the plot of Twilight is having someone watch you while you sleep. Minnie says, I used to do sleep streams and made good money from it. That's really interesting. Did you do them on YouTube or did you do them on your camming sites? I'd be very curious. I don't understand why people would want to watch other people sleep, but I guess I like to watch other people clean their house. So I guess I get it. Also, I think if maybe you're lonely, I I think I've trained TikTok out of it. Actually, also I took TikTok off my phone again. But for a while, TikTok kept suggesting those streams where people try to sleep and then you like, if you send them money, you'll like wake them up, which I guess that's fun for the viewers. It seems like a very stressful way to make money. I really value my sleep. I have an autoimmune illness and no children, so I would like to sleep as much as possible because I have the benefit of not having children, and sleep is very important for my functioning. I used to be very good at functioning on very little sleep, and I think I used up all my sleep debt when I went to college. I went to a college with like a very high workload, but also like not very good culture around self-care. It wasn't a trendy word yet. And I slept too little in college, and I think I just broke myself. So I also like second analog budget plannering. What is second analog? Oh, you're seconding it as a... If people have some suggestions of analog budget planning that they like, I would be willing. I don't really know what I would do because I'm just not an analog budget planner. But yeah. It was the campsite and people would tip. Now we have to label consensual sleep to show to keep Visa and MasterCard happy, but there are live webcam houses that do it regularly. That's very interesting. I have never heard of these people that you're mentioning, the Janiverse, but Angela says, I didn't know that sleep streaming was a thing. I mean, I think it's fair that you don't know that it's a thing. It's kind of a weird genre. There's a genre of everything. There's videos on YouTube that just show an entire washing machine cycle. Like everything there is an audience for on the internet, which is one of the brilliant and terrible things about the internet. The Janiverse says, for me, sleeping is good, but seeing people do it feels weird. Yeah, I don't know. Eric says, I need to get on the stick and check / buy family members' gifts from Amazon wish lists. Yeah. If anybody has any great ideas of what to get Mr. Aaron PK for his birthday, let me know. I'm just not a super great gift giver. Maybe someone just needs to have a wish list, and then I could view that as economically... This is the problem, is because I majored in economics, I had to read the Dead Lost Weight of Christmas every single year. And because of the Dead Lost Weight of Christmas, I just do not view gift giving as terribly efficient. So... You see it all for free on TikTok. Yeah, I know, but it's very slow. There's the Dave Ramsey budget sheets. Just copy your YNAB spreadsheet into a dotted journal with little doodles. I mean, I could try. I do have the budget from my book. So I guess I could just print those out and we could do that. Geograph Concept says, isn't this technically a mukbang? It is absolutely a mukbang. Although most mukbangs try to go for like a more extreme level of eating, and I eat one donut, but it's taken me a long time to get comfortable with the eating on camera thing, so. Yes, the Dead Lost Weight of Christmas. Essentially, you can Google it and you can find it is a paper, an economics paper that is all about how inefficient it is that everybody is buying each other gifts rather than just exchanging cash. Because a lot of people get unwanted gifts, people are spending, it would be more efficient to get people cash so they could spend efficiently, which is a very economist way of viewing things. A gift for Aaron probably needs to fit into a 19-inch server rack. Here's the thing. It never makes sense to get Aaron, electronic stuff because it's just like how Aaron shouldn't probably get me planner stuff because we both know precisely what we want and we'll just get ourselves stuff if we want it, which is efficient. So, yeah, I don't know. Feels like it never works. Geograph Concept says, I feel that Storm Breeze, but Simplify does send me notifications, so I do remember. Does anybody want to know what's going on in the crypto space? Should I do a roundup of all the disasters and lawsuits and everything happening with the collapse of a bunch of crypto. Is that interesting to anybody from like a, you know, Schadenfreude sort of perspective or anything? Because we can absolutely talk about that. Oh my God. I love a disaster roundup. Yes, crypto fail. Yes, please. Crypto is still a thing. However, far less of a thing than it was about a month ago. Crypto drama. Okay. I guess that's what we'll be talking about next week because that was a resounding chorus of things. So we will talk about it. The good news is that people are not making nearly as much money off of it right now. So I'm getting far less scammy comments and drive-bys and everything when I talk about crypto because people are just not like sitting waiting to yell about it on YouTube comments. So I would love to do a roundup. We can talk also about like the investment banking and why things were legal and maybe even talk a little bit about the media tour the Sam Bankman-Friedman is doing right now against the advice of his lawyers. So yeah. Nils says, I only want to know when crypto is finally over. I mean, it is functionally very over, like the gold rush that has gone into it. I don't think it'll ever cease to exist, but the gold rush is gone. I think it's gone and done. Will it come back? Tune in next week and we'll talk about that. But I'm very interested in the regulatory frameworks around the collapse. So Aaron could probably use a cool piece of decoration for the studio. I like how everybody's focus on what Aaron can get is for the studio. I was thinking about getting Aaron some fun tops that I think would look good on live streams because clothes are a thing I have more opinions about than Aaron. So, Mariah says, I literally found your channel this morning and I watched 2 live streams while cooking and I'm happy I could catch you live. Welcome, thanks. We're just vamping right now because I guess Aaron is going to come tune in and show us the snow or something like that. But that's delightful. Thank you for joining. And how did you find us? Are you like from the planner world, the finance world, or did you just like randomly stumble on us on the internet? You could start a playlist of reporting on subjects or something. I have a playlist covering a bunch of different topics. I cover a lot of economics topics in depth, but this week I just was tired. I'm just tired, y'all. I'm just very tired. Stormbreeze says, reason why I suggested analog budgeting is my ADHD means I lose object permanence if I can close the software app. Yeah, I totally get that. I always say when I teach like budgeting, for some people, the paper feels very real. And I always recommend that people track all of their spending on paper for at least a week when they first start tracking expenses. And that's because I want it to feel really tangible to people. I would also say that people fall into 2 categories when it comes to cash and credit. I think I've talked about this on previous live streams, but for some people, cash feels really real, and then the envelope budgeting method works extremely well for them. So the envelope budgeting method is where you take money out on like a weekly or a monthly basis of your account and you separate it into envelopes, or if you get paid in cash, you would then just put it all into envelopes, and those envelopes would be usually not for every category, although some people do it for every category, but you do it for discretionary categories. So like grocery, gas, spending on restaurants. And the idea is that when you run out of money in a category, you have to move money from another category. This works really well for people that cash is a tangible object for. So for some people, they get a hold of a $20 bill and the last thing they want to do is break it. Like they don't want to hand it over, right? It feels really tangible to them. For other people, and I think that there is something about like my history in the service industry about why this is true for me. But for me, cash doesn't feel real and it feels like it is going to run away out of my pocket. I swear I get a $20 bill and it just flies out of my pocket and I don't know where it goes. Versus I will track absolutely everything that goes on my credit card. It's very easy for me because it's like very line item and focused, and I have a record of where I've been and where I've spent it. And it's just people are different about how they approach it. And I think some people are cash and some people are credit. I didn't realize that when Aaron said, I'm coming in from the snow, you meant you physically are coming in from the snow. Hello?
It's very cold and snowy outside.
Oh my God, you're going to get snow all over. So is it sticking anywhere?
Nope.
No, okay. So it's been snowing for like 4 or 5 hours, but it's not sticking at all. So I'm trying to keep a financial planner in Hobonichi Weeks. I have my lunch money into envelopes. Are you on the forums at all, Stormbreeze? Because I'd be really interested if you want to take a picture of that and share it on the How We Planner. Otherwise, you could send it to questions@ohmydollar.com. You can I'll blur out any information that you don't want in there, but I'd be really interested to see what your layout is in the Hobonichi Weeks. I think it could be really helpful to some other people. Minnie says, yes, the TV show Till Death Do Us Part, such a good TV show, classic Canadian television show, uses glass jars and a budget book. I do think the glass jars are good, but a little less easy to bring around with you, but another good way to do that. Also, if you like pretty envelopes and stationery and you think the envelope method will work for you, because you don't have to do it for every category. You could just do it just for 1 or 2 categories that are very easy to overspend in and that are discretionary that cash makes sense for. But you can search on Pinterest for pretty budget envelopes and you will be able to find so many templates and you could go on Etsy and you could buy yourself. I mean, let's think of more things to buy, right, for your budgeting. But yeah. Janiver says it's 34 degrees in Oregon. It is cold. That is 34 Fahrenheit, just so you all know. It isn't that cold. It's 1 degree Celsius, but it is cold for Western Oregon. So we are, it is weird, but yeah, it's still, the ground temperature is still above freezing, so the snow's not sticking. Mariah says, Planner World. I've been using a Hobonichi Week since 2014. I found the planner consumerism video. I can't remember the title. Oh, thanks. That's great. I'm always happy when it brings people back in. I think it'd be fun to do an update on the planner consumerism video, another live stream where we talk about it, because some things, I didn't get into everything. So, yeah. Snow confirmed. Sticking on grass. It isn't sticking here, but we have a big street right outside of our house, so I just worry about Portlanders in cars interacting with others on the road. I know, just stay off the road. That's my advice to everybody. But it doesn't even look like there's ice really, so I'm on the forums. I just started to lay out my 2023 planners. I can take pictures of it. We would love to see that. I'll share it on the live stream next week if so. All right, y'all. I think we should probably wrap. It has been a very long stream because I'm avoiding doing my actual work. Keep an eye out. If you would like to get notifications about the study streams, you can sign up for text message notifications, because I am not going to have a consistent schedule right at the beginning, but I am going to start doing the studying live streams again. So it's just a good way to have some chill accountability. Way less chatty than these streams. Mostly it's just lo-fi music in the background. So you can sign up at textcrew.ohmydollar.com. They'll be more focused than this one. This one was, whatever. I'm here. I showed up. And if you have any advice about what you would like to see in edited video format in 2023, I swear that I'm going to accomplish that next year. So would love to see those ideas. Great stream as usual. See you in the next stream, Anomaly. Thank you. Doesn't Oregon use salt now? Nope, we still do not use salt. But also, it's not sticking, so I haven't seen anything on the roadway, and I live on a major street, so... Does the text work only in the US? It also works in Canada. Give it a try. And then report if you get a text message. So feel free to put in your phone number. I'm using Twilio, which is a text messaging interface for all sorts of different reasons. I think it might work with European numbers. Let me know. We'll find out. You're our experiment. Farewell, back to finals for me. Bye. Thank you all for coming. Have a great week, everyone. Excellent work regarding streaming, as always. Some streamers edit videos from live streams. Could that be a thing? Absolutely not. It's too much work. Thank you for the stream. Have a great weekend, everyone. Bye, everyone. Bye. Thank you all. See y'all soon.